Oh, I'm not even in the camera there. Hang on, let's try that again. Oh, hey, how's everyone doing? Right, what are we doing? Microphone. Hopefully the audio is good. Tablet set up. Coffee, other drinks. Fantastic. Who have we got? Heisenberger. Nice. Hello to you. Yusuf, Yash, Dansky is back with another banger. Oh, hopefully. Oh, no pressure. We'll see. Mohammed, I'm very well, thank you. Raquel, hi everyone. Good to see you again. I don't know what that word is, but yeah. Oh yes, it's good to be here. Hi Dansky and the team here. Numasani, hey, good to see you. Alpha, hey, welcome back. Moosh! Hey! Good to see you, Mooshy Moo. Hey Dansky in chat. Hey Matthew. Delia, hey, coffee cheers. Fun fact, I've not had any caffeine for 10 days now. This is 10 days of zero caffeine, and I'm actually starting to function again. Wishy, hey, good to see you again. Hey, Michael Phelps. Hey, strangers, it's been a bit. I know, I was thinking, oh, where's Mike? Where's Mike on the last stream? God, busy being responsible working. Oh yeah, I got chunky fingers as well. Honestly, like me trying to type on a phone is just, I just can't do it. Be careful with the coffee, Dansky. Yeah, no, no coffee. We do have a cup of tea though. But oh, hang on, where's the camera? Oh, there we are. Sorry, I forget you're over there. I'm like talking to the screen. Yeah, there's no cats in the office, unfortunately. Or fortunately, as the coffee case may be. So, how are you alive? Lol, my blood is caffeinated. I swear. Yeah, I think I got to that point, Moosh, where I was just like having so much caffeine a day. That I just it wasn't even working, and it's just I was just dependent on it constantly. And I've cut caffeine out before. I have cut it out before, but never completely nothing. So like even the Pepsi crap that I've got here is caffeine free. And after going through the first few days of like being like a really grumpy sod and coming off that little drug, I actually started to function again, and now, yeah, I feel great. I feel great. I'm sleeping better. So, yeah. Mustafa, hey, Tansky, my first live stream with you. Super excited. Awesome. Oh, thank you for joining. Been living 24 years. I never had coffee. That's amazing, Kai. I don't recommend it if you haven't had it so far. Nice haircut. I know, yeah. No long floppy mess. No long floppy mess anymore. Like trying to do Muay Thai with long hair, it just constantly flaps in your face, and you're trying to like use your gloves to kind of get it out. Oh, it's a nightmare. Much easier today with short hair. How do you feel now? I feel amazing. I actually feel amazing. I feel alive. It's weird. Yeah. Very, very strange. I have this really terrible habit, right? I've always had this, probably most of my adult life, where I'll bite around my fingers, and it's so easy to think like, oh, maybe it's a nervous thing or an anxious thing or something. Every single time that I've quit caffeine, I stop biting my fingers, and my fingers like heal and look great. Really weird. It's just one of those things that I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm having too much caffeine and I'm like just jacked up or something. I don't know, but I feel pretty good. Might affect my ability to design something, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, thank you, Avian. I appreciate that. Hello from Australia. Have you ever been here? No, I haven't. There's so many places in the world I haven't been to. Where have I been? Poland, went there recently. A little bit of Germany. Lived in Spain, been to Spain, love it. Been to the US. Louisiana and California mostly. I would definitely love to see a bit more of the world. Poppy wants to go to South Korea. It does look very beautiful there, I must say. 26 years, always start the day with coffee. Yeah, I think Alpha. I think I think some people are just, they can just have like a coffee and it's fine. Whereas I think I got to the point where I was dependent on it. And it was just, the mornings were just bleh, rough, like not fun. I'm craving coffee now. Everyone's just like, oh, I'm enjoying a coffee now. Great, thanks, guys. Haircut and no coffee, amazing. I like tea too. Lemon ginger. Oh, I love a peppermint tea. Very nice. Coffee bad. Sorry, Poppy's going to struggle to communicate. We watched the new Planet of the Apes last night and she's just resorted to like ape communication. Coffee bad. My work is ordering us all coffee. I have a double dirty chai latte on the way. Well, you enjoy that. I'm going to just have my cup of tea. Do my bit for Britain. That is what we do. We drink tea. If there's a problem, cup of tea. That'll sort it out. Missing an arm or a leg? Cup of tea. I thought I had a sweat and body. Turns out I drank way too much coffee. Many cups each day. It affects my body. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess it affects everyone differently. Yeah, you couldn't just have like a regular chai or a dirty chai, could you? You had to have a double dirty chai. I bet it's a large as well. You went for a large, didn't you? My mum's husband always goes for a dirty chai as well. I can't even remember what it is. Have you ever met Satori? No, I haven't. We've chatted a little bit on the old Twitter X or whatever it's called, but I've never met him. Maybe one day. That would be cool. I feel like me and him would have a lot in common. I feel like, I don't know, I just see some of the things he posts and I feel like me and him would have a pretty interesting conversation. I'm drinking instant all black coffee purely for the iron and bit of caffeine, not flavoured for enjoyment. Hey Dansky, what's the best tip you can give for a freelancer, for a beginner who's just started out freelancing? Oh my goodness. The best tip. I mean, I could give you lots and lots of different tips if I had the time to write a list. Right, just quickly back to when I started freelancing. Okay, I think my number one tip would be that make sure every person you work with has a 6 out of 5 star experience. Like, just go above and beyond. Even if they get rude or grumpy or whatever, just be the nicest, happiest, most positive. I'm gonna get, you know, just be the best you can be. And the reason I say that is because I used to freelance on a platform called People Per Hour back in the early days. And to date, I've got 99 reviews, 5 stars all the way through. Nothing less than 5 stars out of 5 stars. And whilst that's a little bit of a flex there, well done, Dan, good job, it actually led to more work because people were landing on my profile and going, wow, this guy's just got flawless reviews. I'm going to work with him. And so it got to the point where I stopped having to pitch for work and the work kind of came to me. Even some of the clients that were like difficult to work with, you know, you can't avoid them. I made sure that they left happy. Even if they were a pain in the ass, I didn't let that show. I was just, hey, that's fine. Yeah, more amends, great. Hey, Scott. Iced tea for summer is a winner for me. Oof. Absolutely. Anyway, Kai, hopefully that was helpful. Oh, yeah, no, I can't do vodka. Vodka is like, reminds me of my 20s. Lots of messy nights out drinking. Ugh, no. Every time I go into the hospital and I have to like, not, which isn't often, but when I do, you get the hand sanitizer and it smells of vodka. And if you like cover your hands in it, and it's just, oh, the nostalgia of times long past. Excellent. Dumasani, there is someone in the chat drinking tea. Well done. Have another one. Let's show these coffee drinkers who's boss, eh? Alpha, best tip is to keep working hard and don't focus on money at first so you can build up a good reputation and a good network. Very good advice. Dan is scarred by the sound of the Skype ringtone. Good lord. Yeah, I don't think I've ever told that story. That'll be a story for another day. Legitimate designer trauma. Oh dear. Suddenly getting flashbacks. Reminds me of my 20s, turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. Oh, well, happy belated birthday. I'm 37, so I'm catching you up. The occasional shot of tequila. Yeah, I don't drink too much, but I'll have a whiskey every now and then. I do quite like an Irish whiskey, a Jameson's if there's one going. Anyway, right, let's do some logo design. It's fun talking about coffee and whiskey and drinks, but let's get started. So, right, let's turn my music off for a second so I can actually focus on speaking properly. So, after the stream the other day, working on this logo for a lady called Daria, and she runs a business and has a brand that is all about positive psychology. And super quick, speedy recap. There's the Polish version, because she is Polish, and there is also the English version. So these are the kind of, ignore the design, these are the words. Psycholog, I really cannot pronounce this, Poznitsny, and positive psychologist. So those are the kind of Polish to English translations. And yeah, so it's kind of coming up with a logo that can be localized and work with that translation, which does kind of, it's fine. It does limit some of the options. We talked about kind of connecting the typography, but if we create these intricate connections between words in Polish, it's not going to translate over. And also we've got the word psychology on top here, and for the English translation, it's on the bottom. So there's a few things that I don't want to say stop us from going down a certain route. It's a bit negative, isn't it? But there's a few considerations that need to happen. And this was the inspiration sent over. So we can see we're kind of going for something maybe blacks, golds, whites, clean, really classy. It almost looks very kind of fashion-esque as well. And this is the current logo. I didn't show this before. Oof, the pixelation on that. So this is the logo that Daria did do herself. And there's a couple of versions. I'm not sure which is the current one. I think that's just a pixelated mess, really, isn't it? That's my fault. It's a small logo. But yeah, I think this is probably closest. So we have the kind of serif typeface. We have a very fancy typeface on the bottom, and then we've got the gold as a border. And so that's the current one. That's the inspiration that she sent over. And we did kind of experiment with a few different ideas, in particular the symbol psychology, and trying to kind of turn that into something. And I feel like if I didn't have a brief, which is over here, so if you want to see the brief, you can pause the stream and there's the brief. If we didn't have a brief, I could really kind of, like I've done in the past, I'll just do anything. I'll do whatever I want. We'll do an icon or whatever. But because there's a very clear, specific style here that Daria is interested in, and because we have the limitations of what we can do with the actual words themselves, I feel like it either needs to be something relatively simple and typographically led, that we can just kind of switch out the words for English to Polish with some sort of border or some sort of intricate detail, or we need to do something with one P or possibly two Ps, because the P is the only constant bit on this logo, on the brand name. You know, so we've got PP in Polish and then PP in English. So what I then did off stream was, I think some of this was probably off stream, play around with just ways that I could create a P that is somewhat fancy. So there's a few kind of ideas here, nothing that's really landing for me. Kind of messing around with this today, which might be a bit closer. Yeah, that is meant to be like a pile of those kind of rocks that you balance. It's not a poop. I know it can look a bit like that, a bit poop-esque. I'm just not a fan of this as well. The double P back to back, it does look slightly phallic and a bit weird. And even if it doesn't, there's something about it that is just like, no, that's not the way to go with it. So I think what I'm going to do today, I've got the kind of the pen display set up here, and I think I'm going to just get a bit more focusing on the P. I think I want to do something with a P. So I'm just going to whip into Photoshop and have a wee play. Ah, very nice. Huh, interesting. Thank you, Raquel. In fact, actually, yeah, while I think of it, if you do want to have a go and send any ideas over, or send me help by sending me ideas, it's like all the other streams. This is always going to be a team effort. It's never just going to be just me doing it. Oh, heaven forbid I design a logo on my own. So feel free to send over any ideas you've got there. And yeah, let's get started. That's very tender, Mohammed. Thank you. I love the infinite symbol and fashion look when they send a pixel art. I think you're rough. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe the infinity loop. I think I need to remember as well. I keep forgetting. Maybe I should have it up on the screen somewhere. Blah blah blah. Where is it? See, brief. Emphasize the connection between psychology and diet. And I think that connection needs to be subtle. I don't think it means, it'd be very easy for me to draw like a symbol of a symbol of a piece of broccoli, and we'll turn the P into a broccoli. Given the kind of inspiration and the ideas that were sent over and bits and bobs, I don't think that's the right approach for this logo. You could do a banging logo out of a piece of food and a P, for sure. But I think it needs to be something more symbolic, maybe a bit more abstract. So this is something I was playing around with earlier. And I'm in Photoshop now just because I can kind of sketch a wee bit more. So the idea with this is to create the P, and you've got the connection between mind and body, mind up here, and it just swirls down into the stomach down here, or the whatever, the food, the diet, the food processing area of the body. I know it's subtle, maybe reaching a bit too much, but that was the idea anyway. So I'm just kind of going to play around with some different P shapes. See if anything kind of jumps out. Yeah, little infinity symbol there. Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure who said that just now, but maybe because I think I did a version of the infinity symbol like this. Slightly bigger on one end. And so it kind of looks, it almost looks a little, come on down, draw it properly, like a human form. You got the mind up here, hello. You got the stomach with all the food down there. Give him some little arms and legs. Hey, ta-da! So I don't know, maybe there's a subtle way to get the infinity symbol in. Something like that. Oh, hang on, let's try that again. And I think it might need to be quite linear as well. I don't think it's going to be like I might be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be like a block logo with a very solid fill mark. I think this might, if I'm going to go the P route, it might need to be quite linear and quite elegant. And two P's is hard. You can do them back. You could do them back to back. It just looks It just looks weird to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. There's just something about it that feels weird. Unless I were to do like maybe a tree. Maybe maybe my mind's just in the gutter. I don't know. Oh dear. Yeah, P Infinity. It looks like a Disney D. Yeah, P. Oh. That could be quite cool. Let's try it a little bit shorter. Doesn't look as P-like. I like the idea of getting the infinity symbol in, and I like the idea of offsetting it in size so it's not equal. So it can look a little bit mind-body, you know, head. This is the head, this is the body. And also it's the infinity symbol as well. And even not necessarily, you know, the significance of the infinity symbol, but it's just showing a connection. It's kind of looping around and showing a connection, and it would continue back up. So it's kind of it's showing the connection between the psychology and the diet, or the connection between something in like a much more subtle way. Yeah, I think it's getting the shape right there. Because I need it to look like a P as well. Back-to-back P letter looks generic. Yeah, the gut instinct Dumasani is just telling me that no. It's just, yeah, it's predictable. And I don't think it's right as well. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, Mariam, it's very easy to kind of see the finished article and feel like it's easy. It's not easy at all. I mean, as you've seen on you might have seen on some streams, sometimes logos do come easy. The ideas. Other times, like some other logos that I've definitely done, they just take a lot longer. They take ages and ages and ages. I like the offset size. Okay, cool. Oh, brilliant. Hey, was that helpful, Tom? Oh, brilliant. Hey, sorry it took so long to get that over to you, but yeah, hopefully it was helpful. Hmm. Let me link it in the chat. So Tom is someone who's enrolled in the Adobe Illustrator Masterclass. Yes, we are going to definitely get a segue there. We are definitely getting a segue. And this is Tom's. Actually, no, Tom, it's not live yet, is it? Sorry. Before I do that, it's not live yet, is it? Sorry, I'm jumping the gun. I was literally about to post it in the chat, but it's not. It's not live. Ugh. Let me know when it's live, and I will share it in the chat on like an upcoming stream or something. Yeah, basically, Tom's done a website. It's awesome. And we've got a great example of some animation as well, which I think would be definitely worth looking at in another stream because it's just so good. Unless, Tom, you're happy for me to show them the animation. It's entirely up to you. There's Poppy doing the promotion. I haven't even got to the promotion yet, Poppy. Perhaps skew the infinity symbol up and to the right by about 5 degrees. She's doing the promo for me. Hey, Reese! Or it takes 4 to 5 streams and more time of Dan's life. It's fine, I love it. I love these streams. Yeah, you might be ahead of me, Pop, but you ain't got a bell. Yeah, actually, no, there is a bell at home, but no one's going to hear it. Anyway, so yeah. Shut up, Dan. Right, so here is a link to the Adobe. She's already posted it. Yeah, basically, I made a course about Adobe Illustrator. It's a great course. It will take you from a complete beginner. It will just teach you pretty much all of the tools that Adobe Illustrator has. There's like 70 plus. Tons of different things. Yeah, basically, if you want to learn Adobe Illustrator, you can tolerate the sound of my voice and you don't want to spend 10, 20, 30 hours learning it, and you'd like to learn Illustrator in about 7 hours with 7 hours worth of video, this this course is great. Yeah, as Poppy just said, this course is great. I know I would say that, but yeah. If there's anyone in the chat that's in the masterclass and they like the course, just maybe write in the chat what you think of it, or that it's good. Like, I know there's a few in here, and it's, you know, it doesn't really mean much me saying my own course is good, but I'm obviously going to say that. But yeah. Oh, it was good to get that done. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. I'm glad you appreciate. I am terrible at marketing my own course. I spent like 6 months making the course, and I am like the worst at actually I keep forgetting to even tell people about it. So I have to keep remembering, or Poppy has to like remind me that you need to promote the course. Right. Yeah, let's go back to some P's. Okay. Ooh, hello. That was a nice little... Obviously, my hand is not so steady. Just getting the right shape. I feel like I want it rounder. I want to go more... Maybe... Let's trim that off. Trim. Yeah, that is quite a nice P. I mean, this is a kind of good exercise in just... It's kind of a good warm-up, really, sometimes. You know, just pick a letter of the alphabet and try and design it in as many different ways as you can. Excuse the seagulls outside if you can hear them. Ooh, what about that? Like a double P? You can see we've got one P there. That's one. And then we've got another P there. So we've got like a P inside a P, maybe. We could get rid of that. PP? Yeah. Something like that. Maybe. Yeah. It's... Because it's difficult with a P, because, you know, the letter P, having a P and a P, they don't really fit together too brilliantly. Some letters link beautifully. You know, you might have like a W and an I, and it will link and whatever. But P and P doesn't seem to link as beautifully as it could do, as I would like. So I feel like it might be possibly one P or two P's cleverly kind of integrated like this might be the play here. Oh, that's very kind of you, Tom. Thank you so much. That's amazing to hear. What is that? What is that word? Kickstarted it all and cured my Illustrator phobia. Oh yeah, I mean Illustrator. If you're coming from Photoshop as well, were you coming from Photoshop, Tom? Because yeah, you can get comfortable with Photoshop, and Illustrator's like, bleh, and you got like another, 70 plus tools, billions of features, and it can be like crazy overwhelming because it's been around since what, 87. So however many years that is, I don't know math, but it's like it is a behemoth of a piece of software, and it's a lot to like take in. It's because it's got so many different features, so it can be very overwhelming. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Yeah, that's another thing with the course as well. It's not just like, oh, hey, I'm selling you a course. Like if you enroll in the course and you get stuck or you've got questions or you'd like some feedback on something, like I'm there to help you. I'm just at the end of a DM. So you just can send me a message and I'm there to help. So reminds me of golden ratio. Maybe we could go that route with it. What if you don't use the P at all, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, I mean, what would you use another letter? Or I think for me the P is the most prominent letter, and it's the one that would work across both Polish and English. Illustrator does rock, yeah. Once you get the hang of it, it's amazing. Illustrator's the software that could literally power like pretty much an entire design business. Illustrator with just a bit of Photoshop, that's all you need. What if you try making the infinity mark size equal to the letter P head to strike a balance of the two elements? Let me read that again. What if you try making the infinity mark size? Yeah, so I think, yeah, what I would need to do is I would need to not just do an infinity symbol. I would need to make it look like a P as well. Probably more so a P, using the kind of infinity loop as sort of an inspiration, like a subtle nod to that. Oh right, I was a seasoned Photoshop vet and Illustrator just fried my brain going in blind. I think the thing that I'm most proud of with the course as well is I've been using Illustrator for like 17 years. I've made so many mistakes. Like I'm even still learning things now. Like I'm just constantly learning with it. But through probably the first 10 years of my career, I was making just so many mistakes and working with tools and features the wrong way, wasting time and all this stuff, and just basically causing myself unnecessary frustration. And that's the thing I love about the course is that I've been through that. So I teach you like the proper, correct way to use it from the ground up, rather than you having to fumble through like just endless tutorials, or just doing it yourself and learning things the wrong way, like I did. Because yeah, I mean, there's some really basic things that I didn't even know until I was like, what, 10 years into my career, and it was like, how did I never know this? So yeah, if you like the idea of some structured training that's going to kind of walk you through it step by step, so you don't miss out fundamental stuff, then it's worth checking out. Hey Christian, how you doing? I'm a freelance illustrator, motion designer, and I would like a masterclass in dealing with clients, time management, and pricing. My goodness, that would be an entire course in itself. If you want to learn about that, I would recommend checking out a guy called Christo. Like honestly, like if you want to learn about dealing with clients, pricing, the business side of design, this is the guy. This is the guy. This is the team. They've got a YouTube channel as well, so they've got the free videos on there. They do courses as well. Yeah, that's where you want to go. Oh, thank you, Monu. I appreciate that. You're all so lovely. Hello from my planet. All my alien friends love you. Hey, Rajiv, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Christo is a genius. Yeah, very. He's one of a kind. That guy, one of a kind. And the reason that I kind of think so highly of Chris is because I've met him and he's so interesting to talk to. Like what you see on camera, like he is an amazing human being. But more so when I first started watching him back in 2016, he was giving me all these kind of bits of advice in his YouTube videos and just saying, hey, do this, double your price, do that, say this, respond with this to all the kind of client objections. And I tried it and it worked. And I was like, well, blow me down. No one said this to me before. You know, and I think as well, he's not afraid to have the awkward, difficult conversations. In fact, I think he enjoys it. So when he does like the I don't know if he still does it, but he used to do the live role plays and he would get people to ask him tricky questions and he would just navigate around it so smoothly. Yeah, so smooth. Mhm. Indeed. Hey, Dilshan. How you doing? Right, I quite like this one. I like where that's going. So, let's stick ye over there. And what else have we got? Are there any others I like? I suppose that one is kind of an italicized version. I do quite like this, maybe. Separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. Yeah, maybe that one. There we go. We'll stick you over here. Let's maybe play around with these a bit more. What is the brief for the logo we're making here? Oof. It is. There you go. You might want to pause the stream and have a little read. But that is the brief. Another take on the reverse P, perhaps? So you got a P there, although a reverse P is kind of a Q. So do we really want a Q in there? I don't know. Looks kind of cool. Ah, maybe. I wasn't sure where that was going there. Another take on a double P. Let's try and do that again. I'm using a pen display. XP Pens Artist Pro 16 TP, but you can use any pen. Doing this kind of stuff, this sort of work with a mouse would be a nightmare. Like I use a mouse and a trackpad a lot. But when it comes to stuff like this, that is much more illustrative. I gotta use a pen, and even now my curves aren't very good. It's because I'm looking at the screen and drawing. If I were to like put my head down and draw on the display, it would be a lot easier. But you know, obviously you're just looking at my head then, and you wouldn't be able to hear me. So I thought the title of your stream was "Live Laugh Logo Design." Well, that'd be a bit cheesy, wouldn't it? What I love about downstream is you always end up getting good info, whether it's from me directly or the chat. Oh yeah, we got That's a big win, to be honest. Yeah, we've got people from all different walks of life, all different experience types in here. I know we've got some people with, decades of experience under their belt. We've got people who are just coming in fresh. So, yeah, and that's what's cool about it as well, is we get different perspectives. Everyone's got different experience. Even when it comes to doing these logos, it's not just my ideas. Everyone gets to throw in, regardless of your experience. And the thing is, anyone can have a good idea. But you've got to know the tools and the software to be able to realize that idea. And fortunately, I do. But if you don't, there's a course. At symbol is cool. Watching the metamorphosis of the P. That is so cool. Yeah, it is a bit candy-like at the moment. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm trying to avoid that if I can. I quite like this one. I do like that one. Yeah, maybe there is a double. Maybe there is a way to kind of get the double P in here. But have it still look as one. Let's chunk up the brush a bit. We'll work with a slightly thicker brush. Yeah, that could work, double P. Let's modify this one with the eraser tool. Oh, I've missed doing this. I love teaching, but I've missed having a good project to work on, like an actual project for like a business. Good fun. Yeah, P and P, maybe. I'm just going to try adding cuts in different places to see if I can... Yeah, maybe. Looks like the D from Disney. I'm using a pen display camera. Yeah, I think we need to do that as well, actually. Delia just said, how cool it would be if we could chime in on the screen and draw. I don't know. What is the... I don't know if you guys know. Were any of you there when I did the Figma stream? Do you remember I did a Figma stream and it was for Luke's Iced Coffee or something like that at the very beginning? And I sent a link out and I got everyone to just jump in and have a go playing around in Figma. And we were all working on different ideas together. I think about 19 people signed up and joined into the design process. Well, I mean, I didn't even realize. I thought you could just share a link and people could edit. But Figma decided to very kindly send me a bill for £300 for all of those 19 seats. Just out of the blue. And I was like, what? Figma, you didn't give me any notification or anything that by putting out a link and letting people click it and have a go, I was going to get charged for a seat. So, obviously, that's a bit of a no-go. But I don't know if there's a way that, whether a Zoom call or something where we could just get a whiteboard set up and we could all kind of play around together and I don't get sent a massive bill at the end of it, ideally. Do you know what I mean? Because that would be amazing. Yeah. I paid it. I just paid it. I was like, whatever. It's more hassle than it's worth. But I was a bit surprised because I was like, well, surely I would get an email saying you've added a person to your team and you'll be charged X amount. And I would get 19 of those emails so I know that the payment's coming out. Nope. Nothing. No notification or anything. Just a week later, hey, you're being billed for 300 quid because I shared a link and people clicked it and went to edit. It's insane, right? Yeah, it's insane. There should be a notification sent out at the very least saying, thank you for confirming your something 19 seats, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was shocked. I was pretty surprised that there wasn't a notification process. But it's a funny story. It's a funny story and a somewhat expensive lesson to learn. But yeah, to doodle together in real time virtually would be amazing. Well, I'm sure there were some T's and C's somewhere that somehow make it my fault for not reading them properly, but I was just a bit surprised, you know, it felt a bit it just felt a bit sneaky, you know. I think if you're gonna like even some platforms, if I switch my subscription to a different one, they send me an email confirming that, and the fact there was no confirmation of, like, can you imagine if, like, I don't know, 300 people instead of 19 joined that stream? Can you imagine the size of the bill? Let's not think about it. Anyway, right, P. Right, where's the Disney P? I don't want to go and do Disney's logo. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. I think we'll be alright if we, yeah. Okay, it's good mention. We'll make sure we don't go and recreate the Disney logo by mistake. Try Miro's Limitless Online Whiteboard. Oh, okay, thank you, Nathan. I'm going to screenshot your comment. That'll be fun. That's what we need, yeah. That one you just did in bold needs a bit of touching because it's not so bad. I like it. Yeah, I did think about it, Moosh, and I thought, you know what, I can't be bothered. I got too much stuff going on to even faff around with that. Oh, it's the football tonight. I forgot about that. Be careful with the Peru logo. Oh, okay. I don't know what the Peru logo is. Oh, I see. Okay, good shout. That's very spirally, that one. I think we'll be good. Right, what other ideas do we have over here? So we got this one. Ooh. Big. No, we'll go a bit bigger than that. Huh, I do like it. What do you guys think to this one? This one here. Are we onto something, or am I barking up the wrong tree, so to speak? Woof woof. Yes, we are against the Netherlands. Yay! Come on, England. Any Brits in the chat? Do you think so, Tom? I know it's like it's more abstract and a bit subtle. You know, the kind of mind to body connection and the two P's. It is much more abstract. But I think if I can turn it into like an identifiable mark, I feel like, I might be wrong, but I feel like this is where a lot of the time's going to go, is on the logo mark itself. I think having something simpler, like a typeface that I can switch in and out for Polish and English, I think that's going to be easier. It's going to make this logo a bit easier. So if I focus on the mark and then the text part of the logo will probably be just typed out. Okay, right. So this is a good idea so far. What I would then probably do with that, if I want to explore this more, is that's the kind of constant. Is it's kind of where do you add the breaks? You know, on this one I've got this part extending over. Maybe I try the same again, but without. Ooh, hey, you cheeky sausage, Dan. Where are you going with that one? Almost designed it in reverse then. Ha! A P and a P. Managed the P, the plus, and Dansky managed it. Oh, did you say you've sent? Sorry, you've sent one, haven't you? Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. That's like a double-ended P. Hang on, let me get this in. Yeah, we'll grab these. I'll pop them in Illustrator, but I definitely, yes, I do want to explore that one. Just a reminder, if you want to have a go and send anything over, hello@dansky.com is where to send it. Yeah, maybe something like... Oh, all right, let's have a play. Let's have a play. So what was that? That was like a P there, and then another P there. That's a bit wonky. Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, I see where you're going with that. Is that too sloped? Could I do it a bit more vertical? Kind of bring that loop down quite low. Trim you off a bit. What about if I had a line under it? 1, 2, and then... Ah, that's a bit... That's like an F. I was going to try and like divide it in half or something. Yeah, it's an interesting... Oh my god, why have I done... Why do I do everything so big? I've given myself 9,000 pixels and I just have to make it all massive, don't I? Lemon. Yeah. It is slightly... It's not an ideal shape. Do you know what I mean? I wonder... Maybe a vertical one. PP? How does it look vertical? Like that. And then... Nah, it looks like a D then. Oh, thank you, Yusuf. Oh yeah, no, I see the second file. Yeah, no, we're doing sketching in Photoshop. The actual main logo, all this stuff, will be Illustrator, but because we're sketching Photoshop, it's better for sketching, in my opinion, than Illustrator. So I was trying to sketch something similar to that Infinity P to send you now. Yes, if anyone does want to send over their design, here is where you can fire it over to. Tom says maybe have them slightly next to each other could abstractly symbolize shaking hands connection. Which one? Are you thinking this one? There we go. We got a heart. We got 2 P's and a heart. Heart feels. I mean, you could do a heart, I suppose. It can be a bit cheesy sometimes. This is fun, Delia. You're right. Oh, sorry. Which one, Tom? This one here. That one. Sorry, I'm moving the screen around at 100 miles an hour. Combine 2-letter P for a logo mark in Bing. Bing AI brings up an interesting result. Ooh. Could you send it over? Sorry, Tom. It's just like, how many times is he going to ask? Is it that one? Yeah, that one. What, this one over here? This one here? Yeah, that one. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. If anyone wants to kind of combine 2-letter P's for a logo into an AI generator and see what we get, you know, couldn't hurt as a bit of inspiration. That's quite nice as well. Yeah, let's do the italicized one. Oh, excuse me. The reason I do quite like this one as well is I think this was the one I did right before the stream, and my hand just did it. It just was like, and then it just flowed really naturally. I didn't have to think about it, almost like a signature. Do you know what I mean? There's something about it that's just. I think the way you draw it as well. You got P, and you're drawing the mind and then the connection to the body. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of my brain hinting at me. It's like, Dan, that's the one. I know. Oh, thank you. It's a smart spiral. It looks like the Pinterest logo. Does it? I don't know if it does. What's the... No, I don't think it looks like the Pinterest logo. No. No. And remember, this is the raw shape as well, so, you know, I can just play around with the thickness and the styling. This is just a rough Photoshop sketch. Let's try skewing that one a bit. It's a bit different, having it inside like a leaf shape. Ooh. No, I'm using, it's an XP pen one. Artist Pro 16 TP. Looks like a beak bird with eyes on top. Reed says, I like that. Could you add a body icon to it? What, to this one here? How do you mean? Sorry. I don't think you meant that, did you? Fibonacci spiral. Maybe. Mind and body. Something like that, isn't it? Golden ratio. I can't remember. Yeah, it's not something I integrate into my work too often. The golden ratio side of things. But it can be fun to play around with. But I do like using geometric shapes. So using like smooth kind of curves and things and straight lines. Not like that. That reminds me of DNA, I think. Or like a reverse dollar sign. PP? No. Yeah, the leaf I thought might just be a bit interesting. I don't know. Just a bit different, isn't it? There's something with that I quite like. Yeah, maybe a circle. Them could possibly... What about a formal P, then a script P inside the other one? Maybe. Yes, that is a really good idea. I know what you mean. So like a P and then have another P kind of intertwined around it. Nice. I like that. Very good. Again, could symbolize the connection between two different things, mind and body. Ooh, yes. I think you might be onto something there. Let's just grab times for now because I'm being lazy. Or no, Baskerville, maybe. I need a thin one. Oh, what was that one I had the other day? I spent ages looking for one. Yeah, I probably got it somewhere. Is it that? What are you? Latin, modern, Roman? This is interesting. Glassstone. I'm gonna try Glassstone. I'll try that. It's got some interesting kind of curves and things. Glassstone. That wasn't what I was looking for, but I like it. Okay. Oh, hang on. Yeah, uppercase and lowercase are different. So I was looking at a lowercase one, but it doesn't matter. We could work with that. So then you're saying have another P interlinked in that. Let's just pick a color. Yeah, I think I ended up doing a DNA spiral a minute ago, Reed. Just wasn't sure about it. Yes. Like if I could interlink something like that. Yeah, have another P. Let's put a pin in that one. Keep going. It's trying to find the right P that could interlink. There we go. Look at that. That's very similar to, well, not very similar, but like kind of similar to what I've done. We'll keep that over there as a maybe. Bit of inspiration. Yeah, some of these P's are a little bit embellished. A little bit too much. Yeah, like I could interlink that somehow, but it doesn't look enough like a P. Now that's more what I'm looking for. What's that? Arabella signature. That is more what I'm looking for. Even if I redraw that P, that could link quite nicely. Ooh, good idea. Definitely set me off on one here. Who is this? This was Galeria. Thank you. Stuart, your Dansky, I'm in the market to buy a graphics pen tablet to ramp up my logo design skills. Something intermediate. What would you suggest? I can't attest to the quality of the cheaper design tablets on, well, that you can get anywhere because I've just not really used some of them. But the ones that I use all the time now are XP Pen. And I know like Wacom's the big name in pen tablets, but there's one I'm using here which is like this is like a really really expensive one, total overkill for me anyway. But there's another one called the Artist Gen 2, and I partnered with them ages ago, and they sent me one of those to review. And I think it's about between 100 and 200 pounds. It's a lot less, but it's got a 12-inch screen, and it's actually a pen, tablet, and display. And I think generally XP Pen is like not as expensive as Wacom, but at least in my experience, for the kind of the way I use it with Photoshop and for logo design and all this sort of stuff, it's more than capable. Like at the moment, I'm using this one here because I've got it in the studio and it just is nice and shiny and whatever. But when I'm at home designing, I'll have the other one because it's portable, and the display is just powered by one USB-C cable. So it's what I'm trying to say is you don't need to spend like loads of money on like the super high-end one, because even the kind of mid-range or even budget-friendly ones, they give you the stylus and the pen pressure and the ability to control kind of how hard you press and that kind of thing. And I think as you spend a bit more money, you get a few more bells and whistles. You get a nicer experience. Everything just becomes a bit more premium. Even the feel of this one is like super high end, but it's like I said, for me as a designer, this is total overkill. An illustrator would love this and appreciate it a lot more than I do. That's a good P. I like that one. And if you've never used a tablet before as well, I would probably not spend crazy money on your first one, just in case you don't get on with it. I think you will. I think using a tablet's nice because it feels like a pen or a pencil, which, you know, many of us grew up using pens and pencils, so it kind of has that familiarity. And it can relieve things like RSI, which is repetitive strain injury on the wrist. So if you do suffer with that, it can kind of help. Yeah, that's another good one. We'll keep you as well, I think. Keep you for later. There's some good P's, actually. Didot or ballerina. Okay. Oh, yeah, for sure, Reed. We're not going with pink. I'm just using it as a contrasting colour for now. Ah, that's a bit different. That's interesting. Oof. What about over here? It almost fits over there like for like, really. Yeah, like just, I mean, I know that's not what I was looking for, but if I were to just kind of take this and mask part away, do you see what I mean? You could create a connection between the two P's. Well, that's a good question. I was looking for a script font, or I think something more like that. But actually, this serif just popped up, a Zedo, and it could work. Yeah, quite possibly, Reed. I have a larger uppercase P in the loop and a smaller lowercase p inside. I think there might be a design similar to that. Okay. Thank you very much for sending me this. This is from Delia. Let me... So yeah, two different P's combined in a circle. color burn. Put that one over there. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing I'm thinking of, but I like that P actually. In fact, I think I had a similar one. What was that P there? Because I think I've got one here, which is Didot. Oh, is that the one you mentioned? Yeah. Let's try that then. Didot. God, I've got to turn off flick panning. Why on earth have I got flick panning enabled? Oh, I haven't. Enable flick panning. Is that a trackpad thing? How strange. Yeah, let's just try this to see how it looks. Yeah, I think the tricky thing with combining two P's so intricately is when it will it work in black and white, and how will it work? So we'll put a pin in that. And I'll go back to sketching some ideas. Nate says looks like PD. Yeah, got to be careful sometimes with the letters. I don't want it to look like PD. Yes, I'm sketching in Photoshop. Maybe with the lines of P we can create a plus icon and it can mention positivity. Yeah. Why in Photoshop? This seems to be like a recurring question. So the reason I'm working in Photoshop is, well, let me just show you. I'll show you the way my pencil tool's set up. Watch this. I'm going to draw a shape. You know, Illustrator smooths it out, and I can turn that off. But it's just altered what I actually drew. Whereas in Photoshop, I've not got any... Do you know what I mean? It's literally like you're drawing and it's raster based as well. So it's not trying to connect the points together, like working. I don't need to work in vector. And also I can do this. So I can drop the flow down and I can start like just sketching. Much better for sketching or any kind of... If you want to simulate realism or realistic drawing in Photoshop, it's much better than Illustrator. Illustrator's vector, which is good for a final for sure, and we will do the final design in Illustrator, absolutely. But for sketching ideas, Photoshop is much better. Plus icon. That's a good idea. Let's try that. So we'll go plus. Maybe a bit smaller. Yeah. P. P double plus? I'm not sure. I do like the P and the plus as an idea, but it doesn't really visually represent the connection between mind and body, which is one of the sort of key points in the brief. How can you utilize white space with two Ps? Yeah, good question. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. A few people have asked that question about doing a logo in Photoshop. And you can definitely do logo designs in Photoshop. Like, you actually can. And depending on the complexity of it, sometimes you might choose to design a logo in Photoshop. Depending on the effect and that you're going for. But just most of the time, you'll probably use Illustrator. Yeah, what was this? Like an upside down P? No. Oh, that's nice. That's lovely. Again, mind, body. Yeah, that's the same thing as that font there. There's something about that I find really satisfying. It's almost like a signature, a sign off. Down. Very easy to remember. Even just for me sketching it out. So I don't know, maybe that kind of leans into, you know, making it, maybe it helps it be a more memorable design. I don't know. I think out of everything, that is my favourite idea so far, wherever the heck I've put it. It's one of these, isn't it? There we go. I'm surely not onto something there, am I? I don't think so. No. What do you think? I was just messing around. Like, obviously, I know this is a rough. This is very rough, but hmm. There you go, Dan. You start mucking about and you end up possibly doing something. Wouldn't that be funny if this ended up being the one? I mean, it's not a bad idea, actually. I don't think it's terrible. I quite like it, actually, I think. Because then you could put that in a circle. That's obviously a terrible circle, but you could encase this in some sort of shape. oh look, a diamond or whatever. And these parts here could connect to that. So there's a few different things. Yeah, you could wrap it in something. Yeah, Reed says, I like it. Maybe add some elegance to it, for sure, for sure. It's too cute, it's memorable. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, we'll go back and look at the brief. How about the cut character legs and some kind of a brain to be like the shoulders? Yeah. Let's just go look at the brief again. See, this is what happens. I'm so used to not working to a brief. We just kind of have fun on stream and I get to kind of do whatever. It's like, come on, Dan, remember the brief. Okay. Right, main focus is to show that the mind and body are one. Okay, and then that kind of leans into the bottom where it says emphasize the connection between psychology and diet. So there is definitely a focus here that needs to be on the relationship between two different aspects to health, the mind and the body. So I don't know, yeah, maybe 2 P's can help in that. You've got 1 P for the body, 1 P for the mind. How would you like to be perceived? Positive influence and a force for good, to give people hope. That's quite interesting, because I would say that this person looks like they're very kind of proud, hands on hips. Kind of standing tall is how I would describe that. What words would you look to describe the new look and feel? Okay, well, minimalistic, definitely check that box. Luxurious, maybe. Once it's finished, we could do that. Modern, for sure. Professional. As long as it's not too cutesy and too childish, we could make it professional for sure. Playful. Okay, so playful was part of the brief. So, I don't know, cute, playful. Inspiration driven. That last one's a little bit harder to interpret. Inspiration driven. So I guess reading between the lines, inspiring. Yeah. Emphasize the connection between psychology and diet. I don't know if I'm getting that as much. I suppose, unless I suppose you were to say if this half is psychology and that half is diet, then you're on fire today, Raquel. Oh, I see what you're going for. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I think that one's my favorite. I'll take that. We'll pop that in. We'll stick it in Photoshop actually, seeing as we've got where is it? We've got Delia's in there. Yeah, I do like that. How it works in black and white, there's definitely some considerations there because, of course, the letters will just run into each other. I don't know. I think I might be onto something here. I don't know. I mean, this is all linear as well, so we could very easily kind of chunk this up and make this into... I think I would keep it quite thin to make it retain some degree of elegance. No, that looks like it's got 4 legs. Oh dear. And this bit, the head on top. No, that's too stupid. Yeah, is there any other shape other than a circle? Yeah, it's got it because it's going to be quite small. This part of the logo is going to be quite small. So I'm just thinking, what other shapes are there that could represent someone's head in a minimal way? I don't know if you're going to get much more minimal than a circle. Unless I were to just lop off the top part. That's a bit weird. Maybe lop off the bottom. The mind, the brain, the upper part. Unless we were to, yeah, maybe we could continue this. So you see the kind of angle? We'll continue that up. And just have a piece of chin missing. Just so it still looks like a head. Oh no, what have I pressed? But it's just a more interesting shape, maybe. No, that's a bit rubbish. Or we run that straight up. No. We're going very geometric with it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we are definitely ticking the minimal box. And we could do this with circles as well, make that look really smart. Make the head into a brain. It would be too detailed. Representing a brain is quite tricky. If you Google brain logos, they all look quite cool, but I don't think they fit the brief with the elegance and that Dari is looking for. And if this were to be a logo and the head being so small, when this is on a website, having a little thing like this, it wouldn't be very difficult to make it look like a brain. Please not a square or a triangle. What's bro cooking? Not sure, Stefano. Not sure. We will have to wait and see. I'm just going to throw this in Illustrator because my drawing ability is highly questionable, as you can see. So I'm just going to whack this over here and just get a bit of geometry on the go because I can just do the shapes perfectly. Then what have we got? We got the legs. Square, rotate, whip off the bottom, direct select tool, scale in, snap it together, snap you to the top, bring it down to the bottom. I mean, I love me some geometry. As you guys know, I do love a bit of geometry. Let's get rid of that half. And then actually what we'll do is delete that, select, reflect all. What do you think? 2 Ps back to back? Hey, Cushy, how you doing? I'm very well, thank you. Why is the logo like I'm gonna kick your ass? It's a bit like he's looking jacked. I love the fact that it's just super simple, real simple shapes, clean, and because slightly Avengers, okay, because I've all got this as strokes as well, I can change the width here. So we could dim this down, we could chunk it up. So it's good to have that flexibility. I think the thinner it is, the more elegance it will retain. And we could actually let's get that there. Do you see what I mean? So this design could sit quite nicely in a P shape. Yeah. Let's just kind of chippy choppy this a wee bit crudely at the minute, but funny, isn't it, where one idea can take you? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about the circle as a container. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we could play around with the thickness. We could easily kind of chunk up the side bits and retain the focus on the symbols and what have you. So that's one way we could go with it. We could. I mean, remember, these are still 2Ps. Come on, keyboard. You're not working. So I got an idea. I need to just got to get one side looking good. So let's go into mirror. I can play around with the shape. So let's just throw in the head there. Do the head first. And then I could play around with this. that's like a P, but it's like you see what I mean? We could actually create quite a few different expressions here with the arms. In fact, I might go straight across. And we're gonna go round, and then we'll just have a little loop in for the arms. No, that's shit. Sorry. Oops. Yeah, something like that. 2Ps. So it's less geometric, but we've got a bit more of an expression in there. Definitely exudes a bit more strength, perhaps. It looks defeated. Raquel. These projects are really helpful for learning the process of design. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I think as well, something that I think a lot of people say, and this does come up quite a lot, is that doing these live streams lets other designers know that, look, it's not always smooth sailing. There's a lot of rubbish and a lot of crap designs that get discarded. Loads of ideas. It's not like, boom, I've got experience as a designer. I'll just bang out a brilliant logo. Nice, yeah, reads as badass with an attitude. Like, even if you've been designing for years like I have, it still can take a lot of time and effort to, and some logos are harder than others. So just because you start trying to do a logo and it looks rubbish in the first 4 or 5 hours, like, doesn't mean that it won't get better. Like, I've spent quite a while on this so far. This is definitely like a slower, especially last stream. There's some good initial ideas, but it was a much slower start than what I have done sometimes. And I feel like this stream is really kind of getting a few possible branches. We've got the P, we've got this character thing now. And I was saying to Daria, when was it, earlier, that yeah, like the logo design process can take a while to get some good solid ideas and then branch off and explore those. And I feel like now in this stream we're sort of getting a few that do have some potential. It reminds me of a Wi-Fi tower. Yeah. Hmm. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the nicest P of them all? Fight me looking logo. Yeah, literally. E Teng Chong, you are very welcome. I sent a couple more. James says, Dansky, I sent you a sort of rough sketch in your email with a sort of brain and two P's. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Oh, that is nice. I see what you've. Oh, I see what you've done there. Right, I see. Very clever. Those are some very nice P's, Delia. Thank you. It's like an uppercase inside a lowercase. Let's just whip up this one. Photoshop. So this is one from James Victor in the chat. Yeah. For this one, I especially like. Hang on, let me rotate the artboard so I'm not like cocking my head to the side. Yeah, the subtle integration of the P's. Yeah, I see. Okay, yeah, so it needs to. Yeah, there's a lot of subtlety in the nuance there to get it looking like a brain. My drawing ability is awful. Yeah, so I can see here you've got the shape. Nice. In fact, rather than me redrawing that, that's probably a sketch I'd take straight into Illustrator. Because you've got the shape of the brain spot on. Then that goes down there. Interesting. Yes, we will definitely hang on to that. And have a play around with that at some point in Illustrator. That's quite a nice shape. Sort of standing proud. Yeah, the arms are probably too long there. So let's group those and maybe scale them down a bit. It's very vertical now, that's the only thing. Let's sort of put that in something, some sort of shape, like a container. Let's try this. It might not work. When I'm designing, I throw a lot on the wall. 90% of them are terrible, but you look for inspiration and always keep throwing stuff to... Yeah, basically. I love this brainstorming. Yeah, me too. It's fun. The idiot is having a blast. A stylized stomach. Oh, is that... sorry, where is it? This one, yeah. And it shows that it has that sort of connection as well, because it kind of links together. I think you might be onto something there, James. Very good. Where's the original sketch? Oh, there was a gap, wasn't there? There was a gap. I knew there was something different. Let's try that. Connect those. Yeah, I was missing the gap before. When you add the colors, oh, much later down the line, yeah. I think typically a good logo can work in black and white if it needs to. Rounded square. The shoulders are higher. Bye bye defeat. Love it. Yeah, so let's keep. I feel like where is it? I've lost it. Where's the brain one gone? Oh, it's here. Let's get that in Illustrator just so I don't forget it. I feel like this as a concept is pretty much like ready to go. Like I could trace that in Illustrator and move that ahead. So I think it's yeah, super clever. I might try and refine it my own way, but I think that is 99% there. But let's keep going with this one a bit. So what were you saying, Raquel? Make the arms a rectangle. What's that gonna do? It's gonna do something. I totally forgot what it was. It's almost like a meditation kind of shape. You see what I mean? And you've got the P and the P, and there's a connection between both. It's like someone putting their hands together. Thanks, Reed. All I can see is a bum now. You've ruined that one for me. Oh, goodness sake. You lot. Great. We've made a bums and boobs logo. Fantastic. Not really suitable. Goodness me. You can't unsee it, no. Goodness me. So what was that other design from before? Oh yeah. Like the video and subscribe. God, I used to say that in all the videos. All the videos at the end. Well, if you like this video, like and subscribe for more. The good old days. Yeah, let's have a go at just drawing this one. Just to get a vector version in, because then I can play around with stroke weight and a bunch of stuff. Right, how am I going to do this spiral? It gradually gets bigger. Do I want it to be more like a linear spiral? In fact, hang on, I could probably freehand this for now. Yeah, that'll do. Maybe that last bit, not quite right. Yeah, there's a couple ideas. Couple ideas starting to bloom. Let's grab. I'm gonna do vector version of this. Smooth that out. Bring you back round. Tilt you up. Trim a bit off there. Maybe extend this down a bit. So there's a kind of similar gap there to there. Push you a bit closer. How are we looking here? Yeah, that's not bad. It's pretty close. Yeah, so 4 possible ideas for the mark. Right. And remember, this is like, these are just starting points. I think James's brain on the right-hand side is probably the most fleshed out concept. Like, I think in its linear, simple, fluid style, I think it actually, like I said earlier, I think it's 99% there. I think these two here, especially one on the left, need a bit more work. So. Da, 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 da. If you like them both, just don't vote and write in the chat that you like them both. Yeah, I think until I see it read, I need to mess around with it, because on my original sketch it did kind of gradually get wider at the top. So I think if I were to do a linear spiral, I don't know, it might look a bit lollipoppy, but we'll see. Oh, thanks, Pops. Hey, shout out in the chat. Let's go to 1 million. It's very sweet. Maybe tweak the bigger P. The bigger P, so it's curves at the same angle with the smaller P inside. Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, if you're about this one here, there'll need to be some consistency between the angles on the P and the... In fact, yeah, I think they've just thought of another way I might do that, actually. This is why I'm so proud of the masterclass that I launched, because a lot of Illustrator is looking at different sketches you've done or things, and you're like, oh, how do I create that? And it's just knowing the tools. And if you have like a really good, thorough knowledge of all these tools over here, you can really create shapes of anything. You can draw, you can create, and you just know which tools to use. Like, for example, like if I'm using the pencil tool, first of all, you can use the pencil tool to draw, and then you can use the smooth tool to smooth it out. And then I might use the scissor tool to cut along that path, so I can then break it apart and break certain gaps in it. But you can't use the knife tool on a path. That is for solid shapes with a fill. So I might slice that there. But then how do you do straight slices, where you hold down Alt Option? And I mean, I could go on for ages, but like, I've used these tools so intimately for so long, I just know how to use them all. So when I'm presented with a problem, or I come up with an idea and I think, oh yeah, this is a cool idea, I've just got that knowledge of the tools to just go, this is how to make it. And it's not like a barrier. Whereas like when I'm learning some software, like 3D, for example, I might have this wicked 3D idea in my head, but I've then got to follow all these tutorials and all sorts of stuff to just... Like, tutorials are great, don't get me wrong, but I've got to keep... It's like a barrier. Oh, I've got to learn how to do that to just realize my ideas. So, and then Poppy, yeah, Poppy's, you posted the course. Good job. Good on you. That's why I'm so proud of the course, because it will just teach pretty much most of these tools over here. And so if you're wondering how I'm just whizzing around and clicking this and making lines and cutting lines and drawing paths and whatever, it's just because I've got a really in-depth knowledge of the tools. So if you want to shortcut that learning process, there are some links to the course. Hey, Hutton, how you doing? Oh, it's been a while, my friend. Raquel says, I'm so into 3D right now. Oh, yeah, 3D's awesome. It's good fun. Especially if you spent most of your life or career in 2D design world. 3D is like, oh, I've got a whole other dimension to play with. Yay. Okay, right, let's have a look at the poll. Number 3 is in front. Number 2 is a lot less popular. Number 1, okay. And Raquel, you said you liked 1 and 3 as well. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I need to throw them with some together with some preliminary text or something. Oh yeah, it has. It's been a while. I finally got myself a part-time job making pizzas. Nice. Good job. And I don't know if Dari is in the chat or not at the moment, but if you are in the chat, Daria, please feel free to chime in here and say absolutely not or yes or whatever to any of these designs if you like the direction or not. Because as much as I think this is the advantage of doing it live, as much as I might spend ages pursuing number one or number two or three or whatever, if it's an absolute like no go, it would be better to know that up front rather than spending ages refining it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Boom, testification. Hello at Dansky.com. Fire it over. Eddie says, like, no, sorry. Eddie says, like, now, oh man, I love Blender. Juggling through this 3D world is really interesting. It is, yeah. 3D is just, it's crazy. 3D is so much fun. But again, like, if you're struggling to learn Illustrator, like, learning 3D, specifically Blender, when I started, was a humbling reminder of what it feels like to be a beginner again. And it was just like, I don't like this. I'm so used to knowing my way around and what to do with all the Adobe apps that as soon as I was thrown out into a different app, it was like, I've got to watch like the really basic tutorials again and figure out kind of the basics. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm just gonna. Okay, so it's between 1 and 3. 3 is like got 50% of the vote at the minute. Number 2 is a lot less popular. Okay, right, let's send that there. Very good. Right, thank you to everyone who participated in that. Let's just throw in some text just for fun. Let's just grab this one here because why not? This isn't really meant to be anything serious. Just to kind of get an idea of how it could look with a bit more work. It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a difficult one. I mean, I could. Let's try it. I don't think it'll work, but we'll just try it anyway. I think it looks a little bit alien-y. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Oh, I see what you've done there. That's cool. So this is from Lawrence, which is that you, Boom Testification? Hopefully that's got the right person. So it's like a kind of play on what James did with number 3. So we've got the brain, but inside of a P. That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if we could take that and put it inside a P. And then have that connect there. Something like that. Although now it's a P inside a P inside a P. Triple P. Yeah, you can see I'm naturally gravitating towards the more linear style. Just because of that elegance, I think. Oh, I feel like there's like a refinement of these, or a really clever idea that's just hiding around the corner. And remember, there's all these as well. I mean, these are just they've been put to the side, but there's loads of other little ideas here and things that we could still go back to. And let's just scrub through Photoshop as well, actually. Yeah, we had the interlinking idea. A few other different P's, the infinity symbol. Oh, what was this one? Oh yeah, this one was a P inside a P. Quite literally just P and a P. P, 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 P. Right, let's... Let's choppy choppy. Is that it? Ah, yeah, just minus. Minus that chunk there. Connect that down. Obviously, the width is all wonky, but quite literally a P inside a P. Hmm. Ooh, what about that? Mind and body, 2 Ps, no? Yeah, sort of infinity. Planet Pixels I voted 2, but actually cannot decide. They're all good. That's good. That's good to hear. Can you show us again your accidental double P person in Photoshop? Which one? The this one? What do you mean this one? There's a few, I think. Oh no, Boomtastification's a great name. I love it. Don't change it. What do you think about 2 spirals as a P? Yeah, we've got quite a few spiral logos in Photoshop. Like I did this sort of spiral. Ooh, hang on a sec. Oh, wait, I've got rid of it. Hang on. Hang on. Hold up. Let's put that one back there. Oh, that's kind of cool. Look, you got the way that they overlap. Maybe. Or let's go with complete circles. Overlap them like that and then connect them with a single. I mean, we are going super minimal now. I don't think it will let you post links here, no. You could email it to me though, hello@dansky.com. Yes, infinity as well. I wonder. So, vertical infinity, and then a. How could I make that look? To really flatten the middle connecting part. PP, connected infinity symbol. Could that be a P? A very fancy P. Very good, Hutton. Can we also take the way of being an educational brand? Yeah, I suppose you could do that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm getting a bit desperate with the PP thing now. I might be reaching a little bit too far. Let's get them out of the way. But it's good. These are all interesting ideas. So we, like Reed said earlier, you know, you got to just throw it all on there, and 90% of it might not stick, but that 10% is what we're after. And sometimes you've just got to go through all this to get to that good idea. Positive influence and a force for good to give people hope. It connects more with the two P's person, I think. So you're thinking this one, Raquel? Before, yeah. I mean, I suppose, yeah. This one did have a lot in relation to the brief, didn't it? I'm glad. I'm glad somebody is still considering the bloody brief, because I'm not. Ugh. Yeah. Very good. I think I easily get distracted. I'm like, oh yeah, let's just make these circles. They look nice together. I like circles. They're good. And it's like, I need to actually remember that there is a design brief. Yeah, and you're right. This one here does. Yeah, it does tick, because it's not just about psychology. This logo needs to just. Yeah, like hang on. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the brief. For anyone who's just joined and is wondering what's going on, there is a brief, apparently. Yeah, so a positive influence and a force for good to give people hope, professional, real, authentic. Yeah. So the name and the brand might be about psychology, and we might need to have a connection between psychology and the diet, but it's also that's how Dario would like the brand to be perceived. This here, which is incredibly important. I think I should probably write it on a sticky note and stick it on the monitor right in front of me, so I don't forget. So yeah, I feel like this one isn't. I feel like there might be something interesting there, but it's not fully realized yet, or it's just missing something, or I don't know what it is. I want to play around a bit more. Oh, that's a bit weird. I think a lot of it is in the arms. Just by changing the arms, you can change the expression quite a lot. That's a bit like a candle, really. The head should go. Yeah, I think there's something with the head that isn't working for me, but I don't. It doesn't look like a person then if you take the head away. Do you know what I mean? Like there's something. There is something missing there, I think. Maybe. It feels like it loses the whole giving hope and all this sort of stuff. Hey, da 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 da. I mean, I'm just being silly now, but what about actually throwing that off? Me being silly seems to produce interesting ideas. Why does it have to be perfectly symmetrical? Why can we not have it kind of sloping upwards? Don't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wonder if we could share this actually. Where are you? Where's me share tool? Maybe not, no. Yeah, no, we've done reflected P's in the last stream. I'm not feeling it personally. That was a Picasso moment. Yeah, it was a something moment. This is my strong hand. Oh man. Maybe I need to look at some other inspiration online for logos with this kind of similar style. It almost feels a bit mathematical. Mathematics logo. It feels like a protractor and like a, yeah, the sort of circle you would draw from that. Oh, cheers, John. I see what you mean with the piano logo. Very cool. Nice. Try moving the head down, having the top points of the P at the center. Here, like this. Yeah, we did. Whoops. My God. Looks like he's wearing a corset or something and just crossed his legs. Like he's wearing a corset and needs the loo. That's a bit unexpected. Yeah. Yes, simplicity means timeless logos. Hey Tony, how you doing? How about we close two lines to the end of circle points at the bottom? Well, these ones here, these gaps. It doesn't really look like hands then, or arms. So it looks more, yeah, it does look more P-like. I think I had a version somewhere. This one. Unless we went the super, super crazy minimalistic route. And they went back to something like this. That is like super geometric in its style. In fact, if I were to offset you, scale it up, there we go. I don't know. He's got a little Captain Morgan swag. Amazing. You're right. You're absolutely right. Hang on. For anyone who doesn't know, Captain Morgan's a rum. You're totally right. Oh my goodness. Wow. How did you make that connection, Delia? That is great. Look, let me show you this. Basically the same logo, right? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this feels too mathematical and not enough P-like. Yeah. And I think this is a clever way of doing the P's. But it's a tricky one. This is a real tough one. Because when we do go back to the brief, it's not just, yeah, it's like I love James's logo and it's so clever. But when you look at the brief, it's like positive influence, force for good to give people hope. I feel like number 3 was just, it was leaning too much on the psychology side of things. Whereas I think a big part of what Dario does is connecting with people and building people up and encouraging them and giving them hope and being a force for positive and for good. And so I think that's the thing that's quite tricky to get into the logo. And I think out of all the ones I've looked at so far, I think this is probably the only one that even a little bit just conveys that sort of criteria mentioned in the brief, which is why it's, yeah, you're right. Yeah, this one is too like a compass or a mathematical bit of equipment. It is, yeah. Ultra simple logos. Yeah, I've done the disconnect already, so I think this is the disconnected one up here. Need the human element somehow to communicate that message. Absolutely, yeah. Oh, man. What about... what about instead of a head, if we're talking about social, because Dario does post a lot on social, what about if we replaced it with like a like thingy-madoodah? Or something. Do you see what I mean? Like a thinky bubble. Instead, to kind of get that social communication element in there. That might work. Ooh, what am I doing? Keyboard shortcut keys. Don't know. What about a heart? Oh, if you want to know how to create a heart, you'll like this. Alright, check this out. This is the best way to create a heart. And then where are you? Warp, bulge, vertical. Let's get rid of that. There we go. I don't want that on. Little bulge, a little bit of tweakage there, and then grab that bottom point, pull it up, adjust the stroke weight if you want more of a dip. Bring those in. There we go. Lovely. Whoa, steady on down. There we go. If you're thinking what the hell just happened then and you'd like to see that actually properly rather than just like super fast, there's a tutorial on the channel that I did very, very recently. So it's definitely worth checking out. Although, why is it got to fill? Oh yeah, there we go. Hey! Fantastic. So I was going to just put like a little heart in there, like a like heart. Or maybe just replace the head with a heart full stop. I know it might be a bit cheesy, but sometimes they can work. That was magic. Do you like that, Hutton? Have you impressed? There's actually a section in the course that does focus on creating popular shapes. So things like water droplets, hearts, a bunch of different techniques. Wi-Fi symbol, which is harder than you'd think, actually. A certain type of Wi-Fi symbol. There's a section in the course on creating basic shapes just because it's good practice as well. Gets you familiar with using the tools individually and in combination with each other to create certain outcomes. Yeah, maybe actually. That's a good idea, Reed. What about a light bulb? Yeah, you're right. That is good. That is not too dissimilar to a circle. All right, Hutton, if you like that and you'd like to learn how to create a light bulb, really easy. Don't do this. Don't do that because it's rubbish. This is how you do a light bulb, right? You create a circle and a square. You align them. You unite them together from the Pathfinder panel. Direct selection tool, grab those points, drag them out. Boom! Light bulb. Perfect. But we might need to round that off at the bottom. So I might need to... How am I going to round that off? Go back a step. Maybe we grab these ones. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's try it. Let's see how it looks. Light bulb head. Or even just this chap here. Kind of, so we want these to go around in a circle. $360 divided by 8. Yes, that's what I want. I'll expand you. Get rid of those. Grab these. And transform each. No, that's not going to work, is it? Ah, there we go. Select individually. This might work. Just do it very, very crudely for now. Not sure. You're the most handsome ginger in this world. That's very kind of you, Miguel. Thank you. Yeah, the reason I know the light bulb trick is because I've definitely made a light bulb. I think I did it in a tutorial back in the beginning, in the early days, and I did it the long way, and it was terrible. Right. That's Poppy's way of saying, hands off, he's mine. Hey Jason, how you doing, man? It's been a while. How are you? Keeping busy? Oof, man, we've nearly been streaming 3 hours. Whew, my brain is cooked. I think it's nearly time for me to go and see my children. Oh, school's out for summer now. Nice. Oh, so you've got some time off. The problem with the light bulb looks like a skeleton. Yeah, I agree. It hasn't really worked in this example, but it was good to try it. My precious. Precious. Yeah, I think the thing as well, I've said this before, is that like when you're designing on stream as well, like a big chunk of my brain is thinking about talking, explaining what I'm doing, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I do find usually that I will finish a stream with some okay ideas. As soon as I get home and it's just me on the laptop, like more ideas seem to come. So I think it's kind of, I think there's something to do with the pressure of doing it live. Sometimes you know, your brain is kind of splitting its resources a little bit. Maybe I'm just making excuses, but I've definitely noticed that I will get off stream and either the next day or later in the evening, I'll suddenly knock out a really good idea. So I'll try it with this one. I will carry on with this between now and the next stream and see if I can refine these into something, into some magic. Yeah, brain juice drying up. Going to wrap up your course this summer. Oh, amazing. Yeah, oh yeah, of course. You know exactly what, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Jason? Yeah. Lucid dreaming might help. That sounds lovely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll leave it there today. There's no point sort of pushing for another 10 minutes. I don't think we're going to get any more out of this session. We've got some really good ideas. And yeah, and I'm glad you kept mentioning the brief, Raquel, as well. Because, yeah, if I go back to it. Yeah, there's quite a few different things that we need to convey with this logo, and I don't think it's quite there yet. Maybe close in some of them, but I think this will be pretty. I think this will be pretty easy. Like minimal, modern, professional. They're also very kind of generic terms. It's quite easy, and that's my sort of style anyway. Very kind of minimal. Luxurious. That's not too difficult to make something look luxurious. Playful, bit trickier to still make it look playful, but there's a few tricks we can use. Like you might go with rounded curves instead of like sharp, hard corners that can make things look a bit softer and a bit more playful. Without making them look too childish. That's usually a quick win. But yeah, this bit here. Positive influence and a force for good to give people hope. Again, professional. So it's got to look real smart. There's a real emphasis on professional here. And authenticity. Yeah, I think I need to have a little, do a bit more digging online, get a bit more inspiration, and look at some other logos that might kind of be relevant, because I did grab a few that I quite liked early on. I loved this one. I know it's a bit different, but I really did like that. In fact, this sort of style in general, actually, I really quite liked this. But this one here, I love that. I've just realised this is a psychology symbol. Yeah, so this is a psychology symbol, but they've kind of made these abstract... I did quite like the idea of it being a tree. And I don't know if that's worth exploring, turning the psychology symbol into a tree, but I don't know if that really, again, does that meet the brief, or are we just making a tree, Dan? Which is lovely and all. What am I doing here? It's just trying something then. Let me just try that again. What was it? I've totally forgotten what it was. What was that shape I did? That weird little shape. There we go. Let's bring him up here. Let's plonk it there. Right. I'm not entirely sure what I'm seeing there, really. That could be a person holding out their arms, giving hope. That could be a tree. It's almost got the psychology symbol. That kind of thing. And if I bring that up, we've got the two P's back to back. Do you see that, or am I reaching? Am I desperately reaching there? I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like something, doesn't it? The brief is the reason to all of this. Yeah, you're right. The top into something heartish. Heartish. I mean, they still look like peas, which is good. Yeah, where's the... Let me grab that symbol again. This is the symbol for psychology. I mean, if we could get that in there, it'd be just the icing on the cake, really. Not in a literal sense, but in a subtle one. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's join that together. Join those. And then we can round the corners off. I'm not 100% where I'm going with this, but I'm just curious. P's, like double P again. Okay, we've gone a bit Egyptian now. I do love that idea you just sent me, John. I think it might be slightly generic. I've seen it kind of that sort of P before on like stock websites and things. I like it and it looks clean, but I think, yeah, Raquel's right. We've got to keep coming back to the brief, and the logo needs to inspire that sort of hope and help people. Ooh, oh yeah, oh, that's a nice one. Hang on, let me show you this. Delia's just sent me this. I think, let me have a go. Let me paste that in there. Specifically, I'm referring to the bottom left one. I really, really like that. Is Delia, if you're still there, how did you make that? Is that a font and then you customized it, or is that an actual P from a... I love this one. Hello. Still not me. How you doing? That bottom left one's gorgeous. Yeah, there's something. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, oh, hang on, what am I doing? What am I thinking? I'm just looking at that and I'm like, okay, hang on. I wonder if I could do something with that and merge it with that initial kind of swell. I feel like there's a bit of similarity between those, but this is clearly a P. And yeah, I could play around with that. Yeah, okay. I think a lot of people agree as well. We're talking about the bottom left one, yeah? This one here. Yeah, that looks really nice. I think on its own, we've still got to consider how it meets the brief in what it conveys. But just because we need to convey hope and all the other bits and pieces in the brief doesn't mean we need to literally always have a person kind of going yay or showing strength or something visually. It's thinking about other ways that we can convey that with, you know, font choices and colors and yeah, just the sort of nuances of the lines and how the mind how with this logo here the mind and the body connect. Nice. Okay, I think I think everyone is loving this P. There is something with this. What I might even be tempted to do is have the thing there and have this kind of come round in that continuous loop. So have the break at the top, but have the continuation here somehow. So it is kind of mind-body connection, kind of going from top to middle or top to bottom, if that makes sense. Mind up here, body and diet down here. Oh, this is exciting. Right, I think I'm going to play around with that one later and see where, see if I can get this into something looking good. Brilliant. Hey, Delia, thank you for sending that one over. Brilliant. In fact, thank you to everyone for all the emails with your scribbles and sketches and designs. All of it is, yeah, really appreciated. Thank you. Oh, I'm afraid so. We're about to wrap up, but we will be back later this week. In fact, I think. Hang on. Ooh, let's bring that off there. As you can see, my schedule is not that interesting. Friday, right? I've got to sort my car out. Yeah, I was gonna. Okay, so we might carry this on Friday. Tomorrow, I'm looking after Eli, while as you probably saw, Poppy and Leo are off to see Aladdin. So we might continue this Friday if my car is sorted in the morning. Hopefully, it'll be fixed in time for the afternoon, but I will keep you posted. Woo! Oh man, that is a long one. That's been a long one today. Right, I need to go get some dinner. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, Moosh. I appreciate it. Also, I want my Dansky logo back next to my name. Oh, it's gone into a star because you've leveled up. Yes. Maybe I should get rid of the stars and just... And you don't like the star, do you? Let's go back to the Dansky one. Yes. Okay, well, hang on. Let me make a note to do that because I know what you mean, yeah. Change to star. No, change it to not a star. There we go. Right. Okay, I've made a note. Yes, James. Yes, I've been doing Muay Thai for about 2 years. I wouldn't say I'm the most flexible, but I love it nonetheless. It keeps me in shape. I do love a Monday morning training session. It's always nice to spar and train and hit and get hit. Keeps you on your toes. Keeps you on your toes when you're swinging at someone and they're swinging back. A bit different than just doing a bit of pad work or on a bag or something. Oh yeah, I love this. For anyone jumping on and saying, "Hey, this is a great logo," like this wasn't my idea. This was Delia. So, oh, you chopped the serif off the dot and then added 2 half circles. Nice. Okay, I'll make a note of that because I'll recreate this, and then I'll branch out from there and experiment with ideas. Just there was 4 here, but as soon as I saw this one, it was like, yeah, there's something there, and it kind of has that sort of spiral effect that I was playing around with earlier. But this is like a really nice implementation into a serif typeface, which I do like. Yeah, I know, Moosh. I will get that changed. I promise. We spent all that time working on that bloody Dansky logo, and then it's like, oh, now I've got a star. This is no good. By the way, look, if anyone does feel creative and you want to send sketches or ideas or anything like this between now and whenever, it doesn't just have to be on stream. You can send them over there, and yeah, it's just feeding more ideas into this. Exactly, yeah, as Reed said, yeah, we're just feeding more ideas in. It doesn't matter if they're good, bad, whatever. We're just 90% crap ideas, but we're going to press on. We've only got to hit gold once, you know. So if we're doing 99% ideas that just aren't good, and we get that one idea, that 1% that is a good idea, then you know we've done it. So. Yeah, maybe Vish. I like it. I know what you mean. The logo kind of just sort of gets warmed up to the Dansky orange. Oh no. Oh, amazing guys. Oh, whew. Gosh, it's a long one. We've not done a stream this long in a while. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, and I'll keep you updated when the next stream is, and we'll pick this one up, and yeah, hopefully work towards. Oh yeah, segue, James, good shout. Right, just before I go, thank you, James. If you're interested in learning Adobe Illustrator and you've enjoyed this stream, then this is my full Adobe Illustrator masterclass that will teach you pretty much most of what I know, from like a beginner installing Photoshop for the first time all the way through to super advanced stuff, creating crazy lightning effects and all sorts of things. So if you want to learn Adobe Illustrator, there is an offer on the course at the minute. So it's like 33% off. But also, if you're feeling cheeky, you can also... Oh, Poppy, you already posted it. You can sign up there and you'll get a code for 15% off the course as well. So basically, if you want to learn Illustrator and you're fed up just trying to use Illustrator and going around in circles or whatever, then this course will teach you that. And you also get access to the community, which is where I exist on a daily basis. So if you want to message me or you have questions or anything, you get stuck, then I exist in that community pretty much most days. So you can just fire your questions over and I will get back to you, basically, and I'll be there to help you. So yes, that's the course. That's me done for today. You've been amazing, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll catch you in the next one. Boosh!